The blonde hesitated for another moment, but finally conceded, pulling off his orange underwear, leaving his member in full view. Chichuna struggled with trying not to drool. To drool! She's a professional, guys. His member is just that big and massive and impressive. Kami-sama, he must be 9 inches, maybe more. And it's so thick. I definitely made the right decision. Naruto blushed as he felt himself hardened under Shitsune's gaze. Gomen Chitsume-chan? Chitsume gave him a reassuring smile, careful not to show even the smallest hint of glee. She already felt moistness between her leg, and her nipples stained against the fabric of her kimono. It's okay, Naruto-kun. It's just a natural reaction. I've dealt with this kind of things many times before. None of them are as big as you, but... In Ohio, there was apparently a Nazi homeschool group that taught their kids to love Hitler. And I don't know about you, but Hitler did some bad things. Now, granted, we've had people popping up lately being pro-Hitler for some reason. I feel like if they really thought about it, they wouldn't be pro-Hitler. I don't know, maybe. But apparently this guy, this lard of a person, I mean, you can see the fat fold under his beard, thought, I'm gonna be the savior of white people. Let's read. In our last installment, we exposed a network of neo-Nazi homeschoolers. Wait, in our last installment. Oh my God, there's a whole... Oh, there's so much. There's so much. That is a... I don't think Hitler foresaw that future. This article is updated. Okay. Let's skip this installment where they discover it. And I don't. I want to read the new installment, okay? Sorry. When was the last installment? It was... It's so much. It is so fucking much. We're just going to read the new one. We exposed a network of neo-Nazi homeschoolers called the Dissident Homeschool, led by Upper Sandusky, Ohio couple Logan. Upper Sandusky, okay. Is the place called Upper Sandusky? Upper Sandusky. It's a place called Upper Sandusky. I'm guessing like North Carolina. Near Cleveland and Columbus. And Detroit. Okay, so just straight down in the center here. Rural Ohio. Upper Sandusky, Ohio couple Logan and Katja Lawrence, who used the aliases Mr. and Mrs. Saxon. The Lawrences were good friends with Gordon Call, host of the neo-Nazi podcast Achtung Amerikaner, and leader of the network of neo-Nazi podcasts under that umbrella. In fact, a significant portion of the information that led to the identity of Logan and Katja Lawrence was gleaned from their guest appearances on the Achtung Amerikaner podcast. Since the Saxons got exposed, we thought that old Gordon might be feeling a little left out on all the fun. Far be it from the anonymous comrades collective, fuck you for using that word, to deny a Nazi... Okay, no, okay, sorry. I thought this AC collective. Okay, this is them. Good on them for using that word, sorry. To deny a Nazi a chance to be exposed. That's great. I like that. They're thinking of his ego, and they want to cherish the ego. Today we introduce you to Riggin Scheer of Brookings, South Dakota, otherwise known as Gordon Call of Achtung Amerikaner. The neo-Nazi coordinator, Gordon Call. Gordon Call is the pseudonym for the administration of Amerikaner.org, a website that serves as the home for the podcast Achtung Amerikaner, as well as a number of other podcasts popular with the white supremacists like Full House, German spelling of house, The Godcast, Hate House, and The Eagle's Nest. Subtle, very subtle, among others. While facilitating coordination between various neo-Nazi groups across regions, Gordon Call has been quietly building a rival platform for the largest network of white nationalist podcasts, The Right Stuff, led by Michael Pienovich, aka Mike Enoch. Pienovich. I remember this guy. Michael Enoch. Why is he familiar? Why am I... Doxing incident. Leaked identity of several of its key contributors, including Enoch, and revealed that his wife was Jew. That's why. This is the Jewish fucker. Oh, that's so funny. Right. Oh. I remember. I don't need this. Why am I having this? Though still the largest of the neo-Nazi podcasting network, TRS has of late been experiencing attrition due to the allegation of secret Jewish heritage and to the fact Pienovich and TRS have been seen by other white nationalists as using their platform to milk cash from the listeners and from members of the affiliated National Justice Party, which Pienovich also runs. As such, TRS and NJP have alienated huge segments of their movement, which is fine by us, perfectly fine. I have no qualms with them alienating themselves. We love to see Nazis not play nice amongst themselves. The most recent scuff-up in this Nazi soap opera has been the revelation that neo-Nazi small press Antelope Hill Publishing, which we have reported on numerous times, have been exploiting their employees while at the same time earning big bucks, enough to purchase a luxurious $750,000 house in Harleysville, Pennsylvania, to use as their headquarters. I want to see this house. Is this the house? Okay, that's the house. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. This is 750,000? Really? I'm assuming the property extends beyond the house. But this does not feel like a 700. And why is it only one floor when it could have easily been... Okay, it is 2 floors. So this is just that part, I guess, then. I don't know. This doesn't feel like 750,000. But that's just me. I'd rather live in a city than in rural Pennsylvania. Further fueling the critics, Antelope Hill Publishing's editor-in-chief, Sarah Kuchera, wife of the boss Vincent Kuchera. Why is Kuchera so familiar? Vincent Kuchera. I'm guessing just... I don't know. I feel like this is a famous name for some reason. Has been accused of having, gasp, Jewish ancestry. Gordon Call has expressed his criticism of this alleged Jewish ancestry, invoking the one-drop rule, as in one drop of Jewish blood makes one Jewish, declaring himself staunchly in opposition to the National Justice Party and the Antelope Hill Publishing. Antelope Hill has a Jew handling their customers' data and money. They try to fuck over a white man, white being capitalized. Rusty and a few others try to stop them, and when Rusty is such an American hillbilly name, isn't it? And when Rusty revealed the fact that Maggie at Antelope Hill was a Jew, NJP issued a burn notice on him and anyone associated with him, including myself. Antelope Hill tried to fuck over a Bundy guy. We objected to that. Everything flowed from that. Gordon Call. In addition to this NJP leadership, apparently he has decided to tell people in their networks, or at least some of them, that I groom people and cannot be trusted. They're all groomers. Every single one of them is a groomer. This just the pot calling the kettle black? So Amerikaner and the Bund are on the same page here. I only speak for myself. My views don't necessarily affect the views of people who post to my site. Far as I'm concerned, however, Antelope Hill and NJP can get fucked. Gordon Call was at one time, however, affiliated with TRS NJP, being a lifeguard at their pool parties. Pool party is code for small local gatherings that require vetting. I see the code words of its participants to prevent infiltration. And lifeguards is code for organizers of these get-togethers. Of course, they guard people from blah, 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 yeah. Yeah, those code words are dumb, but bear with us. But this past summer, Gordon Call was fired by TRS leaders, stripped of his responsibility in the midst of a TRS money grab, which brings us to his current situation. If Mike Hill has to address it publicly, it's probably a huge deal internally, said Nate Hill, while Gordon Call says, well, from what I understand, they've lost multiple pool parties in just the last few months. To be fair, a lot of that was due to the shift into mandatory dues payments. They didn't have mandatory dues? So in theory, losing a group who gives no money doesn't really mean much, especially since a good chunk probably still do the paywall. But with something like this, I would imagine it's a big fracture. I hear bits and pieces and it sounds like a big mess. Take care, Social Lust. I'll see you next stream. Prior to his humiliating demotion, Gordon Call was a key regional figure responsible for vetting Nazis for inclusion in several different organizations, besides TRS NJP like the Manor Bun and Patriot Front, calling himself Gordon Call after a real life far-right extremist and murderer. Who the fuck? Okay. When was he born? 1983 he died. Okay. He is mentioned several times by pseudonyms in the leaked Patriot Front International Communications provided by Unicorn Riot as the go-to guy in the Dakotas. Unicorn Riot. Why is this familiar? Is that the same people that did the expose of the infiltrator that went to January 6th? I can't remember his name, but he's a big media, or was a big media figure at least. Maybe that's them. Maybe. In one incident, a newly recruited member of the violent neo-Nazi psycho organization Patriot Front was perhaps just a little too psycho and violent and was scaring his Nazi associates. Gordon was called in to fix the problem. Okay. Yeah, we want psychos. Not that psycho. But we want psychos. Cecil, okay, me either. I've contacted Gordon. He seems to have an influence on him. Gordon, I know for a fact several NJP leaders have my face, name, and address. I look forward to inevitably getting fed knock or something, or some other tomfoolery. I need to check if South Dakota has castle doctrine or not. You know, as a prank in Minecraft. He's threatening to shoot cops. He's saying, come knock at my door, cops, and I'm going to shoot you. And it's going to be fun. I don't think that works that way. And you're just going to get yourself killed. Do not shoot back at cops. Pro tip. Ajax, who even is Gordon? Esben. He used to be our Dakotas guy. He created a second stringer podcast site years ago. And now he basically puts anti-NJP guys on there as a specialty because unity or something. But Gordon Call's main labor of love is his long-running podcast, Achtung Amerikaner. A recent episode hosted members of the Ku Klux Klan. The episode description read, Gordon sits down for an interview with representatives of the Old Glory Knights of the Ku Klux Klan, including Brett Roberts, the Grand Dragon of Texas. So fucking goofy. This reminds me. Bundy Ranch had a good time at... That's true. That is true. That's a point for the right-wingers being able to shoot at cops. That's true. And he is a right-winger, so sure. I'm sorry. You're right. The Ku Klux Klan was humiliated because of Superman. This was... they had a radio play of Superman that kids just loved to tune in. Everyone tuned into him because Superman was and somewhat still is seen as an all-American type of character. You know, he embodies American spirit and ideals. The ideals and spirit that America never lives up to, by the way. He embodies those. So good old white boys put their sons and daughters in front of Superman, in front of the radio when Superman was on. Because that's their perception of themselves. And of course, the radio show got wind of this. I don't know who it was, but someone told them to have Superman clown on the Ku Klux Klan. And they did, and it was so effective that the Ku Klux Klan all but disappeared. The kids would make fun of the white robes because Superman made fun of the white robes, of the goofy Grand Dragon. What are Dungeons and Dragons role players? Anyway, I just like that tidbit of history. As well as Brother Kenny and Sister Rita, who two Imperials or national representatives. Okay. The conversation varied from the history of the Klan to the current goals of the organization. And I don't think they mentioned Superman winning over them. And their frustration in dealing with more modern iterations of the white identitarian movement. In the episode, Gordon Call said he hoped some attempt can be made to broaden cooperation between the different ideological tribes of our people. This is in keeping with his big tent approach to white nationalism, with which he hoped to unite various regional groups who are often wrapped up in internecine strife? Internecine?
Internecine.
internecine, really. Internecine strife. Wait, what does it mean? Destructive both sides of the conflict, okay. As such, he has platformed a wide variety of white nationalist guests, like the rabid anti-Semite and failed political candidate Patrick Little, longtime neo-Nazi Billy Roper, and violent Iowa-based neo-Nazi group Crew 319. Gordon Call, KJ, just remember that getting drunk and moshing to RAC isn't a, I'm guessing, patriotic something. CEO of racism, okay. I've hosted potlucks for our people with 30 or 40 attendees, being able to put together a tithe?
Tithe.
1/10 of annual produce or earnings. To get a tithe of the people attending the event of a national organization with millions of listeners is, well, I'm not terribly concerned at this point about not backing them anymore if that's the yardstick. Americana. Just got done making my second iteration of the beer cheese soup. A beer cheese soup? I'm going to take to the potluck on February. In February. Had it with the local guys at our weekly meeting. But jalapeno... Bitch, we talked about cultural appropriation earlier. If there's someone who can't use jalapenos, it's the fucking Ku Klux Klan. It's the fucking white nationalists. It's the Nazis. They are forbidden from using it. But jalapenos and red peppers in this time. If you want to get the potluck, hit me up, Eastern South Dakota, February 10th to 12th. It's just a cute gathering of people, sharing recipes with one another and just having a... Are they going to have a sewing circle soon? I want to see them go there. I want to see them knit something, a sweater. A swastika sweater. That's what I want to see them knit. I'm planning on doing... This is Gordon. I'm planning on doing something at least every other month. And they'll all be announced. They'll all... Wait, who said it? Americana. And this is Gordon. They'll all be within South Dakota just because it's my backyard. But if anyone else wants to organize something or wants my help to do it, I'd be willing to travel instead. Burn notice, Gordon Call. Alexander, don't they operate mainly out of Michigan? Gordon, I'm down. Got a lot of traveling to try to do this year, though. Want to visit Ozarkia and talk to Billy Roper. Gonna try my best to make it to Exofest. There's a Juneteenth Black Hills trip, and I'd like to try to visit Ray Zest, the North's boys too. What is Exofest? Is it just a car festival? The Ozark? You know that? I've never heard of that. $1985. Oh. Want to visit Ozarkia and talk to Billy Roper. A genus of North American leptonetides? I'm guessing it's something... The Ozarks is a region. The Ozarks... Okay, and we're over here somewhere? Here, we're over here, and you want to travel down here. Okay. But I think it's probably something that's related to, at least, this, since they are Ozark Mountain compound. Feels connected. Still Gordon Call. I'm gonna work to interview as many different groups as possible this year and try to work out some sort of relationship with them. I think it'd be a good way to avoid the same pitfall. Will have its own problems. Interpersonal strife is the main one, I think. But maybe we can get something rolling even if it doesn't go anywhere anytime soon. Ah, it's a camping area. I get it. And camping is inherently a Nazi activity. It's just, that's in the Bible. Apparently, Gordon Call makes some pretty decent money from donations to his website and podcast. In one Telegram post, he claimed that his website basically pays for itself with some amount left over that he saves. He stated that he wanted to work as much overtime as possible in order to create a racist HQ. Thankfully, people have been very generous to this, and the site now basically pays for itself, and we're at $20 or so left over each month that I've been socking away. I'm thinking I might just work as much overtime as possible for the next couple of years to accelerate my plans for Racism HQ. Call the Racism HQ. We have a black person inbound. And then go whole hog on becoming as much of an irritating WN activist as possible. White nationalist, of course. White nationalist activist as possible that the system tries to assassinate me. These guys are such fucking LARPers. It would be pretty cool to have that on my resume. Having assassination attempts is like a badge of honor for them. They are so fucking LARPy. Besides the talk about organizing and coordinating with various other neo-Nazi groups, Gordon Call's Telegram chat discussion is full of the standard racist garbage that is the norm for these Telegram chats. The Vietnamese, at least the ones I've met, are fine enough people. Had one as a roommate and he was very orderly. And therefore, all Vietnamese are very orderly. I mean, I don't want them here, but make me pick between Hmong and Vietnamese. Easy choice. Easy. Just call them all. I could rally against being able to say the N-word when I describe something, when I read something, or when I talk about the word itself. I find it counter to any movement. When there's a word you can't say. I can say gook, but I can't say the N-word. And apparently I can't talk about I can't talk about Ritz either. I can't use that word either. Because apparently white people mad. I don't know. But yeah, it's extremely stupid not to be able to say the word when I read the word. Extremely stupid. I hate it. Only reason I cared about the difference was because I was working customer service. This dude was working customer service. And was able to tell who would be worse to deal with in advance. Oof. I want to see this. Hold it right there, boys. Now, I know the vermin deserves hanging, But that's for the law to decide, not you boys. You ought to be ashamed. Well, okay. But this is the last time, dang it. I mean, this is a critique on the racism of the old, and he's just using it for more racism. Finding himself in the midst of the Nazi drama between himself, the goose-stepping goons in his Telegram chat, and the Antelope Hill Publishing TRS and more acronyms gang mentioned earlier has cost him no small amount of personal stress. This was compounded by the fact it was not lost on Gordon Call that his own podcast was instrumental in the exposure of his good friends Logan and Katja Lawrence, aka the dissident homeschoolers, whom we exposed in our last piece. Gordon felt badly about this since they spoke so freely about themselves on his Actung Amerikaner podcast. It looks like the info came from stuff they said on my show that got linked to stuff they posted on Facebook. God damn it! God damn it! These uppity New Yorkers gonna come here and talk about and gonna expose me for saying shit. These uppity New Yorkers. Huh. We felt it was time to pull the plug on this Nazi shit show and put Gordon Call to a merciful end. It was time. Goodbye, Gordon Call. Hello, Riggin Scheer of Brookings, South Dakota. Such a white name, Riggin Scheer. Gordon Call, like most Nazi dimwits, screwed up. And all it took was a careful look at the history of a now suspended Twitter account he once operated. When the account was suspended by Twitter, it was using the Twitter handle @CallGordon. However, previously, this same account had used the handle Dakota Fash and Big Rig Scheer. Moron. Verifiable by viewing the unique identification number of the account. And he said, the learned elders of Cyclone issue a final warning in the most censored podcast on the dissident right. At one point, the levels of Fed posting become abstract. What? Big Rig Scheer. Reclaim the earth. White nationalists from South Dakota. And the Black Sun. Is that a Fash holding up the tree? Interesting. Gordon Call may have wished to hide his true identity by Riggin Scheer, born April 11th, 1993 of Brooklyn, South Dakota, wasn't exactly hiding from the internet. We let our fingers do the walking and persuade a South Dakotan phone directory, easily finding this uncommon name. I bet they did. 100% European without even taking those tests. I have a questionable last name, unfortunately. Wanted to have some kind of proof if I ever needed it. Damn kike stealing good German names. Oh my god. This is the savior of the white race. This dude. Savior of the white race. Sure thing, buddy. We're halfway there. As indicated by Riggin Scheer's online profiles and on numerous tabletop role-playing games. No! He is a role player. Oh my god, that's why he's so fond of the KKK. Websites under his real name, he was an enthusiast of Dungeons and Dragons and the like. Scheer was such an enthusiast that he wrote his own homebrew racist RPG under the pseudonym Gordon Call, entitled Rahowa? The Meme Wars. I'm choking on the sheer cringe of this name. And posted to the document sharing website Scribd. Riggin Scheer. Idiot. From a page of the RPG written by Gordon Call. Is he racist though? Are we sure he's racist? It could just be a coincidence. A little quinkydink. I mean, we can't know for sure, right? He just wants white people to be with other white people. That doesn't make him racist, does it? Rahowa is a commonly used term by white supremacists meaning racial holy war. Okay, I didn't know that. Here is the premise of the game as stated by the author. Whites are a minority living in a hellscape of diversity and gay shit. Just gay shit. We've passed piss Earth. We shot past septic Earth. We're in radioactive AIDS Earth. Jews run the world in the open. Their hordes of colored slaves hunt the few remaining Aryans like Morlocks hunted Eloi. And many whites serve willingly as slaves to their Semitic overlords. Like, we can't know for sure that he's racist, right? We don't know that. The players are part of an Aryan warband. Why? I want to play as the overlords. Why would I want to play as the Aryan warband? A band of brothers who have decided it is time to make a valiant stand against the forces of darkness. Maybe he's racist. Just maybe. With honor, strength of arms, and maybe some luck, they might finally get their chance to stop this madness once and for all. In this RPG, the protagonists of the game battle against enemies like Negroids, Beaners, Thai Ladyboys, Shitlibs of course, and Zogbots. One enemy, the Giga Enrime, has a special ability to chimp out and deal extra damage point to the player in gameplay combat. But for this neo-Nazi D&D Dummkopf, which means idiot, no amount of successful saving throws or +5 Vorpal swords will save Riggin Scheer from being exposed. This so-called RPG is credited to Gordon Call, but the metadata in the PDF file, is he a PDF file? Clearly tagged Riggin Scheer as the document author. Oh no! You fucking moron. Keep oppressing them. If they gain control, they'll do retribution. Yeah. Besides, which, if you ever saw it, Professor Flower is absolutely in favor of. There are people advocating retributory solutions to oppression, which is self-defeating, if anything. Besides designing really offensive or cringy racist role-playing games, Riggin Scheer has also been known to pen lurid erotic anime fanfiction. Of course he has. Give me a moment. Can I... There's no images. There's no images. Good. Fenrir7139 here. This started as a gift fic for a guy who goes by the name of Is he writing for other people? It's Naruto. Naruto sighed as he sat on the examination table, feeling strange in the hospital gown he'd been given. I hate blue. Why couldn't it have come in orange? Because Naruto wears orange. Wait, we need a Naruto. We need to see Naruto to understand the depravity of this. Why couldn't it have come in orange? And I just got back from the trip with the Ero Sanin. And what do? Hug me. Say they're glad I'm back? No, they say, go to the hospital and get your physical, Naruto. The jerks. Suddenly, the door opened and Naruto looked up at Shitsune, Medicnin. Medicnin? I'm not a anime-brained anime moron. I'm not a dweeb is a word I'm looking for. Is this common parlance in anime? Medicnin? Really? And assistant to Tsunade, the Godaim Hokage, walked into the room. Hello, Naruto-kun. Ready for your physical? Naruto nodded slightly, feeling a bit nervous. Jiraiya had teased him about this non-stop. Naruto had never had anyone, much less a beautiful woman like Chitsune, touch him there. This is really bad fanfic. Just relax. You're Naruto Uzumaki, future Hokage. This won't make you lose your cool. This won't make you lose your cool. Wait, can we get a anime nurse? Oh, I can't. This could be. Let's see here. What is he? Okay, this is perfect. This is what he's envisioning. We have the two protagonists of this story. Okay. This won't make you lose your cool. Chitsune looked at him questioningly. Naruto-kun, something wrong? Naruto snapped out of his internal conversation. What? No, nothing's wrong, Chitsune-kun. Chitsune-san, Chan. Chitsune smiled at Naruto reassuringly. Don't worry, Naruto-kun. There's nothing to be nervous or embarrassed about. I may not look like it, but I'm a professional, She winked at the blonde, good-natured, causing Naruto to relax a little. All right, Chitsune-chan. Chitsune-chan, I feel a lot better now. The medic nin smiled. Good. Now then, first, I need to take your temperature. Open your mouth, please. Naruto did as she asked, and Chitsune placed a thermometer under his tongue. Hold it in your mouth until it beeps, okay, Naruto-kun? Naruto simply nodded again. All right, now, where did those guys that worked the night shift put those supplies? The medicant bent over to look for something, her backside perfectly outlined by her black kimono, causing a tent in Naruto's hospital gown to rise, which he swiftly covered up with his hands. Kuso, damn it, Naruto. Do not let Jiraiya perverted ways rub off on you. She's Chitsune-chan. She's not interested in you. She'll probably be pissed if she sees that. Soon, Chitsune found what she's been looking for and turned back to Naruto just as the thermometer beeped. Oh, good, you're done. Let's see how your temperature is. Naruto was glad that his problem had gone away after she'd stood up. That quickly? Okay, dude. She pulled the thermometer from his mouth. 101.4 degrees. Usually I'd say you have a fever, but that's your normal temperature, right? Because of your condition. Naruto nodded. Yes, it is, Chitsune-chan. What do we do next? Chitsume smiled. Now, I need to check your blood pressure. Just relax your arm, okay? Naruto nodded, letting his arm go limp as he strapped the Velcro strip to his arm, pumping it until his blood pressure was displayed on the electric screen. All right, your blood pressure is almost perfect, given or taking a couple of numbers. You're quite healthy, Naruto-kun. Naruto smiled, rubbing the back of his head. Thanks, Chitsune-chan. I knew it. That Iro-sanin was lying to me. This isn't that bad. Oh my god, how long until the sexy parts? Let's just jump forward. The fox gave me some of this chakra as well as his knowledge. You'd be surprised what a 9,000-year-old demon can learn in its lifetime. Chitsune's breathing quickened. She could feel the raw power of and animalistic lust radiating from him, washing over her like a wave. Really? Like what? Naruto grinned. Naruto's grin widened. Like this. You can see how the roles are reversed now. Now he's in power. Okay. More than this, and I'm gonna cringe to death probably. Oh, they actually... the blonde hesitated for another moment, but finally conceded, pulling off his orange underwear, leaving his member in full view. Chitsune struggled with trying not to drool. To drool! She's a professional, guys. His member is just that big and massive and impressive. Kami-sama, he must be 9 inches, maybe more. And it's so thick. I definitely made the right decision. Naruto blushed as he felt himself hardened under Chitsune's gaze. Gomen Chitsume-chan? Chitsume gave him a reassuring smile, careful not to show even the smallest hint of glee. She already felt moistness between her leg, and her nipple stained against the fabric of her kimono. It's okay, Naruto-kun. It's just a natural reaction. I've dealt with this kind of things many times before. None of them are as big as you, but... Oh, you can hear Riggin Scheer masturbating as he's writing this, you know? With his, 2-inch dick, just imagining him reaming the anime girl. It's hard to imagine that Riggin Scheer, aka Gordon Call, has a very developed view of romantic relationships. Yes, it is. It is very hard to imagine that. Though, since he described himself as a guy who was fairly low standards when it comes to women and has no success with them, what a fucking surprise. He was absolutely correct. However, when he wrote that he has low standards when it comes to women, he was absolutely correct, however, when he wrote that he has low standards when it comes to women. Writing on Twitter, he called the Pikeville, Kentucky neo-Nazi Audrey Skeens his ideal waifu. What is it with Nazis and anime? I do not get that connection at all. Yeah, I read the article. I delayed gratification and put effort into it. I delayed gratification. He's talking about masturbation. I delayed gratification. I waited with masturbating. I waited with masturbating until I got home, okay? That's just the type of guy I am. That's a fair argument that I don't have an answer for. As a guy who has fairly low standards when it comes to women and has no success with them, it's hard for me to tell guys with higher standards and no success they should lower theirs. Okay, what way? I would say that it likely has to do with interpersonal communication at that point. If you're a physical fit guy with a good job and whatnot and have no success, it might be due to miscommunication with women. When I've been explicitly matchmaked or whatever, I have no issue just getting into a relationship. but have never had success cold approaching or using apps. I would imagine courtship is a skill that must be learned for some men, and I haven't learned it. What a fucking surprise that a neo-Nazi hasn't learned courtship in the modern age. This is literally my ideal waifu. Again, savior of the white race. Riggin Scheer, looking for a place by the first week of October. I have a dog. I would like 2 bedrooms, but we'll settle for 1. Sorry. Kind of cutting it close to the wire, I know, but I got scammed with the last place I tried to get, so now I'm in a bind. Can't afford up to $1,000 a month in rent. Please let me know if you know of anything. Most of the apartments in town are not open until at least November. At this point, I may even just try to buy a trailer or something if I can find one. Oh, he looks much better in a mustache than he is the servant of, rather than the full beard. It is few men who can sport a mustache and not look like complete morons. And I gotta have to give it to the Názi. He can at least sport a mustache. Oh, oof. Senior year with Riggin Scheer. Hello everyone, it's your favorite senior Riggin. Lots to speak of this month. The senior play Campfires Burning went quite well. I play a bumbling forest ranger and my minions and I strive to keep order in the insanity that is our forest. We deal with squatters, protesters, and even angry wildlife. But not all is as it seems in this Sylvan Wonderland, and our lovable park rangers are in for a wild ride. See, the joke was the wild part. It's a pun. So funny. So funny. Sheer racism. Good pun. Riggin Scheer may portray himself as an Chuck Mr. Nice Guy kind of demeanor, but his effort at organizing and uniting various neo-Nazi groups presents a clear danger to communities all over. While he attempts to curry favors with those groups and strengthen his own Amerikaner network, the outcome of the strife between them, the National Justice Party, and related groups is yet to be determined. One thing, however, is certain. Gordon Call won't be doing this work. Just 29-year-old Riggin Scheer of Brooklyns, South Dakota. They really want to hammer Brooklyns, South Dakota. Riggin Scheer, Brooklyns, South Dakota. I don't blame them, but I really want to hammer it down. Nick, I almost said it. God damn it. They just spring it on you. Want to bet? I really like them, but they really seem to hold whatever. I live in a little apartment and do mind-numbing make work. I live in a little apartment and do mind-numbing make work 12 hours a day and sometimes say interesting things on the internet. We're both just people. I guarantee if we lived in the same part of the same state, no doubt edict from some internet capo would prevent us from hanging out. I am honestly telling you not to. I don't allow this online stuff to affect my IRL local friendships. You shouldn't either. You can be friends with people even if they do some things you think was distasteful, and I don't have any issue with them at all. Anime characters look white, I guess, but they're also not white. I mean, she could be white, except for the eyes and the hair, I guess. I mean, she's white. Tell them that. Yeah, I know. I'm just. They call them gooks to their face sometimes, and then they fap over their anime. It's really, really strange. And there's no way that this dude would be friends with a socialist, you know? No fuck. No, okay, that's the end. That's the end, it seems. Oh, finally, thank God. No more Riggin Scheer of South Dakota fame. Was it Brooklyn's South Dakota? Brookings, South Dakota. No more of him. Thank fucking God. But I'm glad I read it. I am glad we did that because I am... it's interesting to see their deranged inner monologues they have sometimes openly. Oof. Do I have more energy? I don't know. Maybe. Let's mute that. See.